It's Thursday, and that means neighborhoods are going to be full of little trick-or-treaters, and safety is key. Joining me now is Chair of Pediatrics at Bridgeport Hospital, Dr. Magna Diaz. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, it's important to be careful when kids pick a costume. What is the right thing? What is the wrong thing?
I think probably one of the most important things is to make sure that it's a well-fitting costume. Costumes that are loose can snag on things. They can also, the kids can trip on them. And so that's really important. If you're buying a costume, almost all of those are flame retardant. So that's also really important. And you also want to be mindful of visibility.
What about flashlights and reflectors so that they can be seen right away?
I think that is particularly important if you get a dark colored costume. You want to make sure that your kid can be seen. I loved, flashlights. My kids loved using the glow, stick necklaces. So that was like a fun way to be a little bit more visible. But definitely if you're having your child in a dark costume, putting on some reflective tape on there is a great idea.
Makeup better than masks, do you think?
Usually, yes. So the problem with masks is that sometimes they can obstruct your vision. It's not easy to see out of them, and so you can't see, especially peripherally from them. So long as your child doesn't have any skin sensitivity, most of the hypoallergenic face paints are wonderful alternatives.
And this goes without saying that, especially with the little ones, adults should be there and watch them.
Yes, absolutely. I think, the differences for Halloween is that it's dark. And there could be some traffic depending on where a child's trick-or-treating. Parents ask me sometimes, is it okay for their child to go trick-or-treating by themselves? And I think that's a question that depends on a lot of things, including where they're trick-or-treating and the developmental maturity of that child.
And what do you tell your kids about the dangers, stranger danger, and making them aware on that night?
I think probably the most important things are, follow the traffic rule, use the sidewalks. You do have to be concerned about strangers, especially going into a stranger's home. That's a complete no-no. There is no reason ever, even if the person tells you that, oh my gosh, my dog is in trouble, can you help me? Something like that. Never go inside of a stranger's home.
And I hate that we have to do this, but don't eat the candy till you get home.
Yes, I think, an adult should be inspecting the candy. So if an adult is going with you, that makes it a little bit easier, right? So I love homemade treats, and if it was grandmom or aunt or, a trusted neighbor who's giving you a homemade treat, that's one thing, but I wouldn't take a homemade treat from a stranger. And I most certainly would make sure that an adult is looking at the treats. I mean, sure, there could be some evil person who's trying to put a needle inside there or something like that, but that doesn't happen very often. But it could be a piece of candy that's been opened and there's a bug in it, or it's fallen on the ground and is dirty.
And finally, it's going to be really warm this Halloween. There's going to be a lot of drivers out there, so everybody take care and look out. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Magna Diaz from Bridgeport Hospital.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Well, most